What is up, guys? My name is Creature Play and welcome to my newest player review video. I got a few people I need to shout out for helping me get some of this footage. C-Dub, Pancake, and Stewie, I need to thank all of you. Today we're going to be reviewing the 99 overall Golden Master Barry Sanders. He's 5'8", he offers 98 speed, 100 acceleration, 103 agility, 102 elusiveness, and 101 juke. 10 to ground pound and speed run styles as well. Some of his other stats in here: he has 82 catching, 65 pass blocking, and 94 stiff arm, which unfortunately I did not get to actually show you guys because the clips I had of his stiff arming did not carry over. Today is Tuesday, April 12th. As always, prices may change, but as of right now on PS4, he's going for about 770 average and about 715 on Xbox One. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. First, we're going to start off with the 0-1 trap, which is a play that a lot of people do run. Surprisingly, he does not as poorly as you would think. I really didn't expect it, especially with his small 5'8" frame, but he really was holding his own on the inside. He was breaking tackles every now and then, but not as much as you would like for somebody if you were going to run up the middle, like someone say Marshawn Lynch or Chris Ivory or Eddie Lacy. But he was still able to fall forward almost every single time that I did run up the middle with him. Same as on these dives as well. He's not going to be trucking over people, constantly. It happened every now and then. And he won't be bowling over people or throwing people to the ground like a Bo Jackson or DMC would. But like I said, for how small he is, he really did hold his own on the inside. I can say he has much better success where there are holes or room for him to maneuver, but not bad overall on dives or traps. So if you run with him in the middle, he's not going to act as that bowling ball, which a lot of people go for, but he's not going to be a detriment. Inside zone is one of those plays where, as I was explaining earlier, he needs space to be able to do what he does well. But if you can give him that space and he can find those big, huge open pockets, he's almost unstoppable. He breaks way more tackles once he's actually moving and on the run because he's got that slipperiness to him, which is why he breaks most of the tackles that he breaks. He slips out of them as opposed to just rolling over people and just being a huge monster. He's very elusive and very slippery. And in addition to that, when he's open and has space, that's where you can test out his almost perfect, beautiful double juke and juking moves in general. A strong close toss, everybody runs this play, it seems, on head-to-head. But it's a great play to test, acceleration and speed. He is one of the first running backs I've used. He doesn't have like one of the crazy 100 and etc. speeds, but he has 98 speed, which is fairly fast and should be fairly fast with his 100 acceleration. He's, in my experience, one of the first running backs I've used that actually feels like he's playing really close to that high speed stat. I don't know if it's his small frame or not. But again, with those strong close toss, it gives him a lot of open space, and this is where you can also test out that crazy sharp juke he has and be able to break way more tackles as opposed to running on the inside. His carrying was not an issue at all. I think we overall, over the course of my head-to-head plays and testing with some friends, I'm going to ballpark around maybe 120 plus carrying and rushing attempts, receiving I should say, and he only fumbled one time out of all of those. He took a lot of hit sticks and from a lot of really hard hitting people with high hit power, and there were just so many times that I was honestly just asking myself after the play, like, how is this guy still holding on to this? The only fumble I had was a really nice hit stick from one of my friends I was testing with, and he got rocked, but that was the only time out of all of them. Receiving, first we're going to start off with screen passes before I get too detailed into his receiving. He had no problems catching them, and again, because screen passes are one of the things that you're able to be so open with and have so much room, if you're good at stick skill and juking, spinning, etc., these are my favorite things to do because that's what I like to do. I like to stick roll spin, I like to double juke, I like to stutter step, and on screen passes, honestly, this is where I had the most success with him and where I honestly broke the most tackles, to be honest. With running, he broke a lot, but on screen passes, it was a huge noticeable difference with the amount of tackles that he was breaking compared to only running, because he had so much room, to build up that speed and slip out once somebody actually touched him. Receiving in general, again, another place he was able to hold his own. Catching in traffic is something he did really, really well. Even, against linebackers, hard-hitting safeties, if he caught the ball pretty much anytime 15 yards or under, even if he was getting hit right away, he came down with it almost every single time. I wouldn't, trust him for verticals or anything where you're running intense routes, but anything 15 and under, he is definitely reliable and made some crazy catches, even while getting hit while coming down. So starting from this video and going forward, at the end of my videos, I'm going to review the player on a scale of 1 to 10, just to kind of give you something visually to see and make it a little easier to remember. So starting off with Barry's speed, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He's the only player I've used that actually feels like he's playing according to his really high speed stat. On agility, I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10. He's really great at weaving in and out, especially if you run him up the middle. He's great at being able to find those holes without a problem. On his juking, I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10, and the only reason I'm not going to give him a solid 10 is because there is one player that has a sharper, quicker juke, and that is the 96 Jamal Charles. Tackle breaking, 8 out of 10, still pretty high. I mean, you don't expect it from somebody with such a small frame, but there were times where he felt like Bo Jackson. Receiving, another thing he did great. Anything 15 and under, he's going to catch, and in traffic, he's really great at catching in traffic, but not good enough to throw on the line and do any intense routes or verticals. Carrying, 9 out of 10. He only fumbled that one time out of probably over 120 receiving and carrying downs, so pretty good. So yeah, overall, he's probably my favorite running back in the game, and I don't know if I will ever change him. When I look for a running back, I don't care about speed as much as I probably should. The things I care about more than anything, equally first, I care about breaking tackles on their own, and then I also care about how quick, sharp, and nicely they can juke and get around by maneuvering with their agility. Barry not only is really amazing at breaking tackles, which really surprised me because of how small he is, but he was constantly breaking tackles, more than even like that shady card and even DMC towards the end when I had him. But in addition to that, he has one of the sharpest jukes I have ever used. His feet barely chop when he does double jukes. And then finally, to top it all off, he is one of the fastest cards, if not the fastest cards that I have used all year. So he is worth it if you can afford it. He is dropping in price steadily. So if you can grab him, I say hurry up and snatch him, and he will make you very, very happy. As always, thank you guys for watching. Take care.